Geshe Thubten Jingpa. Okay. Okay. We start? Anytime. Okay, I'm waiting. Okay. Yes. Ah. Okay, Bodhicitta. Let the people that come, then the ones that are well, ones that are met. Okay. Om Banza Sado Samaya, Mano Balaya, Badra Sado Tenoba, Dita Detro Mem, Sudo Kayo Membawa, Subu Kayo Membawa, Anoratom, Sarva Sete Me Prayata, Sarva Karma Sudame, Chetan Shriya Kuru Hung, ha, ho, ba. Sawa Tata Gada Mandra Mame Mandam Samaya Sado, Om Badra Sado Samaya, Mano Palaya, Badra Sado. Tisa Dedo Membawa, Sudu Kayo Membawa, Subu Kayo Membawa, Anura. Sarva Siddhi Me Prayata, Sarva Karma Sudame, Cetana Shriya Guru Hunga Hoba. Tata Gatara Badra Mame Mandam Banzambawa Ma Samaya Sado. Om Badra Sato Samaya Mano Balaya Badra Sato Tenoba Dida Dedrom Sudo Kayo Membawa Subu Kayo Membawa Anuradam Sarva Siddhim Me Prayata Sarva Karma Sudame Tetanshri Ha Bala Vana Sarva Tata Gata Marza Mame Murza Bharja Samaya Sadhu Okay. We just finished 88, 86, isn't it? Verse which 88? Oh, okay, yes, okay. Okay. That 88. Now comes to the first please take a deep breath, inhale fully. And exhale all the stress physically, mentally. Once more, please inhale fully. Exhale. Once more, please inhale fully. Exhale. So please relax physically, mentally, and then we should cultivate the mind to attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. And then with that, so may all mother sentient beings have happiness and causes of happiness. May all mother sentient beings free from suffering and causes of suffering. May they swiftly attain complete enlightenment, Buddhahood. Okay. And then verse 89, that is related to the benefiting sentient beings. So as earlier this morning we did the last section, we did this to help the sentient beings who are in the three lower realms, hell realm, hungry ghosts, animals, liberating them from these three inferior realms to the higher realm, human beings and demigods. Now those who are in the human realm, in the God realms, now they're still in the samsara. They're not free from suffering. They're not free from samsara. So they need to also free from samsara. So in relation to this, then the practice of bodhicitta, see. So bodhicitta, so there now, of course, there are initially Buddha taught, then they from in the different lineage, so there are some great teachers. They explain about the bodhicittas, about the bodhicitta, and so how to practice that, So as a bodhicitta, there's no difference, you see. Relative bodhicitta, absolute bodhicitta, as a bodhicitta, there's no difference. But then how to cultivate the definitions, or there are some little different kind of explanations. Like, as you know, the Shantidevas mentioned, they call aspiration bodhicitta is desire, for example, desire to want to go to a certain place. If you want to go to, let's say, Bodhgaya, say, I want to go to Bodhgaya. So this aspiration, bodhicitta, And then the action bodhicitta is then you are preparing all what requires and actual the preparation and proceeding, traveling to Bodhgaya is action bodhicitta. Whereas the Asanga or Dhammakiti from Indonesia, Lama Silingpa is called, which come from Asanga. That is you make a commitment to achieve Buddhahood. It's the aspiration bodhicitta. And then when you make a commitment to the cause to attain Buddhahood, so in order to attain Buddhahood, I will practice of generosity, moral ethics, patience, so forth. So where you make a commitment to the cause to act on, it's called action bodhicitta. So this kind of those, but in reality, as mentioned, it's the same thing. And then in our Gongchik teaching, both are accepted. Both are accepted, combined, especially related to the from Maitreya Asanga is practice. We have such a precious ceremony. It's called Bodhicitta, the great cultivation of the mind. What's the mind? There's a ceremony of how to cultivate aspiration Bodhicitta and cultivate the action Bodhicitta, then to understand and making commitment to actualize the ultimate Bodhicitta. So we have those kind of system of the study and practice. So here, anyway, verse 89, if I read this, wishing to be guardian of beings, though in samsara, mere they take their rebirth. Bodhisattvas are unstained by all the faults thereof, like petal of the lotus, water-borne. So these great bodhisattvas who have studied, practiced the bodhicitta, highly accomplished, and all the mind is just to wishing to benefit all the sentient beings. So they are reborn in the samsara, but even though they are in the samsara with us, but they are unstained by their mental afflictions. The mind is totally pure. So the example is given. They are like the petal of the lotus, waterborne. So the lotus is born in the water, in the mud, but it's just blossomed above the water with such a pure, unstained by the mud and the water, such a fresh, pure. So bodhisattvas, those who are with us, with the sentient beings, the samsara, but their mind is unafflicted, undefiled, pure. So that as a beginning, we've discussed so much about the emptiness, relative state. Without the relative state, no emptiness. At the same time, the emptiness is within in the relative state. There's indivisible nature. For the practitioner of these things, and the relative, as you see, this all are related, means connected, depends on something, depend on causes and conditions. That continues with depending on the causes, conditions, like a water, river coming down. It's same water going through, but then depends on the location of the place. Sometimes water is more spread. Sometimes water is very narrow. Sometimes water flows very slowly. Sometimes water flows so fast, depends on the location. This is called interdependent, So, but as a nature of the water, no difference. Whether it's run so fast, not run so fast, it's slow, quick, fast, whatever. As water, no difference. So likewise, all the different manifestations of these causes and conditions as an interdependent nature is there, but their nature as emptiness, no difference. So the practitioners, Dharma practitioners, and Bodhisattvas who are practicing this, so they see their nature of all this, the manifestation of the relativity phenomena. Since they see all are just how everything is interdependent, interconnected, like an illusion, then they have the experience of the realization of the emptiness. So their mind is not attached to anything. There's nothing to grasp, nothing to hold on. They come and go, let go. So they don't worry so much. We worry so much because grasping, then we suffer, So, so there's Bodhisattvas. They're born in the world to benefit sentient beings, but born as like a lotus flower in the mud and the water. Out of great compassion, they want to help the sentient beings. They cannot stand the suffering of the sentient beings. It's unbearable suffering in the samsara. It's not just once, just continues, non-stop. What I mean non-stop means it doesn't mean 24 hours they're suffering. Sometimes better, sometimes bad, sometimes better, sometimes bad, but it's unending. It's depressing, You face some obstacles, and you work so hard, how to handle that obstacles. And you could free from these obstacles. You feel really relaxed. Now I could handle, I am free from this obstacle. That doesn't mean obstacle will not come again. And then next, there's another obstacle. Next, there's another obstacle. It's like the waves of the ocean. As long as the ocean remains, the wave just continues. So for that, the great Bodhisattvas then, cannot tolerate. It's so much suffering is there. And sometimes suffering so much, suicidal suffering. See, still we just breathe, we suffer. I can see there are some people really suffer. They are suffering so much mentally, But what we can do? But the great Bodhisattvas, they're reborn. They say, what can they do? Most important, these teachings are the most important. These teachings that we're receiving and bring into our heart, study, follow. That's the only solution, free from all the suffering. But at the same time, there's also what we can do. That's when there's, for example, when there's such a hot sunshine, and the cool wind breezing, it cools up a bit. Now you breathe. Or under the big tree, the shade brings the coolness and rest there. But that, it helps there, but that doesn't last long. So samsara is unending nature of the suffering. So the Bodhisattvas are reborn to help sentient beings. That's what it's now talking about. So simji tabe sambache tata sipe damche deju nyebe makuba chui bemen damashin. Then next verse 90. Though Bodhisattvas like Samanthabhadra burns away defilements and tender wood with wisdom fires of emptiness, there still are most and made tender by compassion. So they're saying their activities are like the fire, burn the fuel of all the mental afflictions. So at the same time, their compassion motions their mind with peace and happiness. So the wisdom uproots all the afflictions, and compassion brings the peace in the mind. Now this, you see, to get rid of your attachment is not easy. It's painful. Something like you like, oh, I like this so much. That's a mental affliction. If you lost it, it's so painful. Now, I cannot accept this. This has been with me for many years. Isn't that? See, in your life, like your friends, like this, Still you want to hang on. So to free from this kind of your, what we are so used to that, if somebody says, get rid of, no, I don't want. I have been this with all my life. I don't want to free from this. No. I want to stay with life after life still, if you can. That kind of there. Then that wisdom says, no, it's wrong. So it's so painful. Then when you see compassion, look at all the sensations of suffering. Oh, I understand that. That makes sense. And compassion heals your mind. See. So wisdom allows to get rid of all the cause of suffering, sometimes which are so painful. But then the compassion then sees all those who are the cause of suffering, and that everybody is suffering, and that the compassion now it heals your mind. So this, I think, is what is communicating, So the great Bodhisattva was like Samantabhadra, Manjushri, Chenresi, those, This Bodhisattvas then helps to burn all the fuels of their delusion with like a fuel, Then it's replaced by the great compassion, motions, the burning mind suffering is motioned by the water of the compassion. So then, through this great compassion, the Bodhisattva was reborn in the samsara, or like Buddha, like our Shakyamuni Buddha, he was born, they are born in the samsara. First, they descent, so to say, caught. So next, caught beneath compassion's powers. They display their coming from Bodhicitta, from the Buddha field, from their samadhi, and then they take reborn. The first conceived in the mother's womb, and the reborn birth. And then they enjoyed in the kingdom their life, experience of pleasure. Then that very pleasure you renounce, renunciation, and practice of austerities ascetic life, no food, no clothes, so forth, like this. Then their great enlightenment after the ascetic life, meditative state, from there, then performs the enlightenment, their great enlightenment and conquest of the demons. So then they conquer, subjugate all the demons, the outer and the inner, totally taking care of all those demons. See. Okay. Gongchik. Where? Oh, there's next, sorry. Then next is see, after they enlightened, achieve enlightenment, then they show forth the teaching, turning the Dharma, giving Dharma teachings. You see, as yesterday I mentioned, there are three. There's a three training of the Dharma. First, Four Noble Truth. Then second, Padya Paramita. The third, non-returning, the ultimate turning of the Dharma teachings. That they then show forth the turning of the Dharma wheel, establishing the guards upon the path to freedom. So the guard means not only guards, human beings, anybody who listens to Dharma from the ordinary state, they're allowed to understand the Dharma teachings, then step by step establish their life in the Dharma, practicing towards enlightenment. Path to freedom, then they display their passing to the state beyond sorrow. Then finally, these great bodhisattvas, Buddhas, they take the parinirvana. Finally, they passed away. So this all, they perform these different activities to benefit sentient beings, to liberate sentient beings from samsara, especially in the human realm, God realm, to the Buddhahood. And then they have activities of the manifestation. They manifest to benefit all sentient beings in a different form. Let's say, they manifest in the forms of Brahma, Indra, Vishnu, Shiva, and the rest. Means rest, there are so many in our Christian, like say, Jesus, Muhammad, like all, they manifest different way to benefit, to help the sentient beings. Exhibiting the dance of their compassion, means exhibiting their activities, dance activities of their compassion, manifesting all the endless, limitless activities to benefit all the sentient beings. Basically, this meaning. Through actions that lead beings on the path, you see. Through that, the beings are led towards the enlightenment, follow the 5 paths, 10 bhumis, the path of accumulation, the path of preparation, the path of seeing, then the path of meditation, the path of non-returning or perfection state for enlightenment. So that you see. So through these activities, human beings, cartoons, those who are free from samsara, that the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they perform these activities through the teachings, not through the magic show. They teach, and we all have to meditate on this practice, you see, is now our responsibility. And from this, next is 94. Now, those who are not Buddhist, or no, I should say, not Buddhist, I should say, no. Those who are not in the Mahayana family, causing to follow into the Mahayana, like Sharavakas, particular Buddhas. So those who are interested, individual liberation, that is not the final enlightenment. So that's why we have in our, this our dedication prayer. See, this one, dedication prayer. I think you have here dedication prayer. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Here you know that you see met the virtues collected the 3 times by myself and all sentient beings in samsara nirvana at the innate root of virtue. So that's which is to dedicate. How we're dedicating those virtues that we have, not result in 8 worldly concern, and the 4 classes of samsara. 4 causes of samsara. So it's the rebirth as a Sharavaka, particular Buddha. Some people don't like this. What is wrong with being a Sharavaka and a particular Buddha? Of course, there's nothing wrong with that, but it delays your enlightenment, Buddhahood. You see? So first you become Sharavaka, and then particular Buddha. Then again, you follow the path. Bodhisattva's enlightenment. So it's going what you call detour, Okay. No. So you don't want to detour, just go direct. So that's what virtue that you have collected, what you have. Direct, dedicate, direct from right now, cultivate bodhicitta and follow the path towards enlightenment. Some people may feel it's like insulting. No, those who are Sharavakas, it's not insulting at all. Highly respected. Actually, those individuals need this path. But this is now giving us some special method. The ideal way is not. The ideal way is from here, from ordinary state, instead of going Sharavaka Patipa, go direct towards the Mahayana and achieve Buddhahood. No. But there are some individuals who cannot do it. They are so overwhelmed with the suffering of samsara. And they say, this 5 skandha, as long as we have, is a totally state of suffering. And it is, So I cannot bear this suffering any longer. No. And at the same time, to cultivate bodhicitta, sentient beings are countless. See, if I cannot help myself, how I can help you? So first I need some place for vacation. So say, no, you cultivate particular Buddha, individual's liberation. And first achieve that there, then you rest for 84,000 kalpas of the resting there, which will come down, So this is what is, here. So, I have read on the path. So, okay. Then next is here, so Uyung, this is what I'm saying now, is to solace these despondent on the pathway of existence, that beings might embrace the Mayana. Two kinds of primal wisdoms were set forth. Yet, this is not the final teachings, you see. Sibe lamla kyonamla nesutondo tekwachas. Those who are suffering in the samsara, as I mentioned, this is unbearable suffering. Then to those individuals who are small-minded, to rest there from that suffering, Buddha taught the path of the Sharavaka, Tewache. So these two, the two types of primal wisdom is the wisdom of Sharavaka and the wisdom of Patik Buddha. So that taught in the relative state. That's not the ultimate. So Sungpa Yindi Tondam Min is not the ultimate. This is also, yet this is not the final teaching. So ultimate is not for the final teaching, but in the relative state, to rest from unbearable suffering, Buddha showed the path, the Sharavaka and Patik Buddha. Okay. That who are resting in the nirvana is called partial nirvana. There's no gross body, just in the samadhi. So that is while the resting, this is the Arahat Sharavakas, here mentioned, 95. Till the Buddha called them rest in wisdom bodies, drunk on the concentration. They totally observe at that samadhi and resting there until Buddha called them. In the jewel ornament of liberation, the first chapter is described very precisely, clearly. You read that. Everyone should study jewel ornament of liberation. Very important book. So in that mentions, first truth, Buddha sees those arahats resting in that samadhi, then they are well rested, you see. Because they are so exhausted in the samsara. They're like fatigue syndrome. So when they are well rested there, then Buddha, through the wisdom, the light radiate and they awake from their samadhi. Okay. Then Buddha shows his body there in front of them. And then through this speech, voice, So where you are achieved nirvana is not the final nirvana. Now you should proceed, start, go forward to achieve complete enlightenment. So then, because of the Buddha's teaching, their understanding, they cultivate bodhicitta, and therefore, for a long time they practice bodhicitta, and finally attain the Buddhahood. That's what it means. No, the Arhat Sharavakas, till the Buddha called them, rest in wisdom bodies, drunk on the concentration. Totally drunk, they are meditating there. No. Okay. Do these also helpful? It's good. Yeah, so see these are so 95. Now 90, let us see 96. Dubel, not so in same gender, Chagurchi, Sonam issue, Tosane, Sanje Chanjo Tawarikos. You see, don't those individuals who awake due to Buddha's wisdom, compassion, skill, they awake from that samadhi, they started now cultivating bodhicitta and so forth, practicing. So you see, rose means rose from this meditative state, awake, they take on various form. Then they, with various form, they life after life, they practice bodhicitta step by step. Okay. And they work with love for being sake, you see. Then the love is not just a simple, but limitless loving kindness. That also very beautifully described in the Jewel Ornament of Liberation, how to practice the loving kindness relation to your mother. No. First you start practice of love, then compassion, then bodhicitta is include all this here. Love for being's sake. Merit and wisdom gathers with these two accumulations called accumulation of the merit, accumulation of the wisdom. So relation to this, like if you look at the 6 parameters, the first 5 are the practice of the accumulation for merit. And the 6th one is accumulation of the wisdom. You need both. That also in the chapter 17 in the Jewel Ornament of Liberation describes so beautifully. Because sometimes there's such a great emphasis of the wisdom. If you have wisdom, then everything is taken care of. You feel like that. So Kabupa that brings that issue. You say you need both. Without great accumulation of merit, the wisdom has little chance to grow. Without the wisdom, then accumulation of merit will not help you to free from samsara. No matter how much you have samadhi, for days after just sitting meditated, actually, as a matter of fact, Dharma Lord Kambupa, before he meeting Milarepa, he has such a powerful shamatha, meditative state. He said for 12, 13 days, he doesn't need food to eat. Totally relaxing, calm, peaceful. No any that gross thoughts. So then when he met Milarepa, I said, I have this kind of meditation. Milarepa said, no, this will not help you to achieve enlightenment. you must practice my wisdom. Tumu. So Milarepa gave him Tumu instruction. You know Tumu, the inner heat practice which related to wisdom. Tumu means wisdom. No? Because of Kabupa has such a powerful shamatha meditation, within a week, Kabupa fully realized the Tumu practice. So this Mahamudra practice, the Tumu practice, those requires the shamatha so much. Sometimes we don't pay attention on the shamatha so much. We're always looking, oh, can you give us the highest teaching? Can you tell us the Mahamudra? What about those things? And you receive those, and then there's no any progress. Your gross mind is still continuous. No matter how much you receive all the powerful teachings, your mental afflictions continues. Your anger continues. Then the people say, oh, what's the benefit of the teaching? Then people think, no, this teaching is not working. No? Why I should practice? So it discourages many other people. No? And the teachers also, these days now, they give highest teaching. You advertise such in a center, Dharma center, teaching this so highest teaching there. And then people go there, they receive all this teaching for a few days. They say, oh, wonderful. But nothing is changed. If not goes wrong, worse, Sometimes they become crazy, So, not so healthy. That's why I say, look at the Marpa treated Milarepa. It's training. When, after many years training, finally, Marpa accepted Milarepa. Now today, Milarepa is my chief guest in the Dharma teachings. And then when Marpa bestows the teachings, Milarepa cherished so much. He couldn't waste even one word of Marpa. Totally recorded in his mind. By that power, then Milarepa attained Buddhahood. Nowadays, I know the teachers are giving so profound teachings everywhere. You see a lot of advertisement. Deity yoga, most powerful deity yoga you get. Most powerful teachings you get. And then after that, not so much change. And some of those people got their powerful deities to get rid of your obstacles in your daily life activities. There's some people wrote me, I went to this powerful deity retreat for 10 days. I went to a retreat for 7 days. Now I'm countering. I can't get rid of this obstacle. So why what is happening, What should I say? I cannot say deities are not working. So there's something is wrong, what we are doing. We have to correct those things. So, so the merit and wisdom gathered in, is what that I'm talking about. The two wisdoms are so important. In the Jewel Ornament of Liberation measure, as I mentioned, why these 6 parameters are step by step. Why first generosity? Why second morality? Why third patience? And fourth perseverance. The 5th samadhi, and the 6th wisdom. Why is arrangement that way? And it's very few lines and described so beautifully. That's the Kambupa skill. Some people can write that for many pages, but Kambupa has a skill. In a few sentences, captures all the meaning profound. But we have to have a mental power to understand this, how the arrangement is. Generally, the generosity, the giving is much easier than you keep the morality, isn't it? Can you give me $5? Oh yeah, you take it. Just you can give easily. But can you keep this moral ethics for 5 days? Oh no. I wait. I will think about it. It's harder, you see. And patience. If somebody uses harsh word, just we burst back. Harder to practice patience. And then perseverance, very hard. And samadhi, to sit there, and while your body is here, the mind is going around everywhere in the world. No samadhi. Then when there's no samadhi, of course, no wisdom. So these are the path you take, step by step. So that is, they reach the awakening of Buddha, to those Sharavakas, but the Buddhas, step by step, with the Buddha's skills, Buddha's skill, how they train step by step, and finally they attain the Buddhahood. You see, that's how Buddha helping sentient beings to free from samsara. So first, as mentioned, those who are in the 3 lower realms need to liberate from that toward the higher status, higher the human beings, the God realms like this. Those who are there, caught up with all the cause of suffering, mental delusions, mental afflictions, then Buddha gives teachings how to reduce these mental afflictions, and then how to totally purify and to free from samsaras. And those who are the Patik Buddha, Sharavakas, how Buddha skillfully relate to the Buddhahood, enlightenment. Okay. Sanje Chanju, Tobrikuru. Niji Baja Yubeche, Baja Sobin Jobayim, Sobin Dingo, Sober Lab, Sibin Yugu Jebache. So this, I said, they still have 2 propensities, you see. Until they become Buddha, we have the propensity, what you call, the lower capacity, the middle capacity, mediocre capacity. Practitioners have those kind of propensity. That becomes the obstacle to really cultivate fully bodhicittas. That's what it means, So that which are described as a seed, Bacha Sabi Yebechir. Sabi Tinga Toba Le. Through the gathering of the such seeds and other things, then this sapling of existence is produced. These propensities, if you're not taking care of, then they become the seed to reborn in the samsara. So we have to purify all the obscurations. Then verse 98 says, Jigdin Guanam Kitamba, Simjin Sawan Chendrova, Jigdin Tone, Tabmangbo, Nabamangbo, Tatekyose. So it's in Tibetan. In English, the guidance means all the Buddhas, of the world expound their teachings. Then all these Buddhas, great Bodhisattvas, they give teachings to the sentient beings. In conformity with beings' aspirations, so means giving the teachings according to their ability, their understanding, their inclination, their motivations. See? So with that very great skill, that's what's there. Many are the means of training holy beings to train their mind, step by step towards the enlightenment. Many are the aspects of the teachings. This called 84,000 types of teachings. These 84,000 of teachings are in the three categories, three baskets, three pitaka, three baskets. And these three pitakas are within in the three training. So these are given to the individuals, that what they can digest, what they can practice, and what they can follow step by step. We know as just mentioned before, we want the best teaching, As soon as you take refuge, and so I'm very interested in the Nama study practice. So then you get a lot of information from here, there, So then, I heard this real high teaching. This is Mahamudra, all these things, They're so profound. Even though you're not ready, but you heard of those information. And then they said, this will help you to really get rid of all the, all these things. And then you are so inspired, but you are not really prepared for. And you go to the teacher, can you give me those instructions, please, And the teacher, I should say, give the instructions. You receive those things. And there's nothing special. So your mind is empty. So your mind is emptiness. No, my mind is not empty. My mind is full, So it doesn't help, So that doesn't work. That's why Buddha talked first Four Noble Truth, Then, after training for many years, first Buddha taught the Four Noble Truth when he was 35 years old, And the second training, the Paramita, when he was in the 50s. So in between, he trained all those practitioners. Then after that, When he was 60s, 70s, then he taught the third turning of the Dharma teaching. So then there's first you said, there's everything, there's a suffering, there's a cause of suffering, there's a cessation to achieve nirvana, there's a path to the nirvana. You taught us all these things. But then in the second turning, there's nothing, it's everything empty. This is empty. Suffering is empty. The cause of suffering is empty. No, this nirvana is empty. No, the path to the nirvana is empty. Now what? It contradicts what you are teaching. Then the third turning is a unity, inseparable nature. You see. Then when you are prepared well, you just click in. Oh, yes, I can see. Because you're well trained. And the training goes step by step. Those who are meditating for a long time, then they get a glimpse of this understanding. No. Just to get you want to get the highest teaching. No, you really, I want to get the highest teaching. I myself also digging to teachers, what's that, But when the mind is not prepared, then but after meditating, read books, meditate, practice step by step, then you get the slim glimpse of these things. There you can see the profundity nature of the mind, the vastness of the mind, you see now. Then how it makes sense. Okay. That Nabamangbo Tadekir. Then the 99, verse 99. The teachings thus are various. See, because of this, teachings are so vast. Sometimes Buddha say everything exists, sometimes say nothing exists, all these things, so vast. Some profound and others are vast, you see. Well, some combines the characteristics of both, the vastness and the profundities, inseparable nature. None diverge from emptiness, and thus they are not different. At the end, you see everything is in all pervading emptiness. Within the emptiness, all the manifestations there, inseparable nature, and you don't see the difference. I mean, you have a realized non-duality state. So that's the wisdom and compassion, inseparable. The emptiness realization that itself manifests into compassion. So the compassion is the flavor of the emptiness, the wisdom. So in there's the ultimate vehicle, Buddhahood. So in the path, as I mentioned, there's so many different levels, layers of teachings, so much, one after another. And sometimes Buddha also depends on the individual. Buddha says, yes, there's a self, When you Buddha said, when there's a self, so that person feels very comfortable. Now I can practice. I must study. I must read. Follow path. And after some times, what you have self is just a notion. It's just a label. There's no really self. This self does not exist. No. But you have to cultivate your mind, bringing all sentient beings into yourself. So your what do you call that? The ignorant self expand to the noble self. So I will have all sentient beings to attain Buddhahood. So the expansion is the expansion of your ignorant self transformed into wisdom. Awesome. Go. Okay. So this is first, all these practitioners following, Buddha's guidance. Through the Buddha's guidance, they follow into the Mahayana practitioner. Then finally establishing Buddhahood. See, it's all Dharani's ground of realizations, the transcendent perfection of the enlightenment. The omniscient ones describe them all as aspect of awakened mind. So all these methods, the words, the meanings, the Dharani's sung, meditative state, all they are called Dharma, meaning, and definitions, and understanding of all the languages. Buddha taught all this is called the ground of realizations. Means ground of realization means the first booming, second booming, eighth booming, 10th booming. So step by step you grow all this. And through this, one achieves the perfection of the Buddhahood. These all are as part of the obtaining of the Bodhicitta, that Buddha skillfully shared this method. The aspect of the awakened mind. Then you see, lunga yeji takbalni, yata simjen tuen chepa, tunyi choba manamla, chepa choba ni yu means those who, with their body, speech, and mind, so bodhisattvas, the bodhisattvas, those who with the body, speech, mind, accomplish constantly the benefit of beings. So they, until the end of samsara, they continue to benefit sentient beings, Buddhas, bodhisattvas. So there's accomplish constantly the benefit of beings. Who advocate the argument of the emptiness. So for them, there's no charge of being nihilist. It means, you see, those who arguing emptiness is nihilist, say. So this is not as other day wrote, within in the emptiness, it transcends the nihilist and eternalist, you see. So those individuals who doesn't have full capacity to capture the meaning of the emptiness, for them, we need to wait. The teaching of emptiness is not ready for those individuals. But the teaching of the emptiness itself is free from nihilists and eternalists. So we should understand that way. We advocate the arguments of the emptiness. For them, there is no charge of being nihilist. So, or mashongwa dobanam chebe doba ni yu means, and actually there's no kind of say in the Dharma teaching itself there's no any mistake about the emptiness, because emptiness is the nature of the phenomena, and within that emptiness, as we discuss so much, manifests all the things that what we see, so inseparable. Then next verse, this is verse 101, now 102. Say, the great beings do not make their dwelling either in samsara or nor nirvana. Says the great being Buddha, especially, and Bodhisattvas, they don't dwell in the samsara, they don't dwell in the nirvana, they don't rest in the nirvana all the time, they're not confused in the samsara, so they are beyond samsara and nirvana. Never. This is not just therefore, Buddha has discourse upon a non-abiding nirvana. So because of the real nature, through the great wisdom, it transcends all the samsaric confusion. Through the great compassion, they don't dwell or resting in nirvana. So they are abiding, it is called non-abiding nirvana, the absolute state of the Buddhahood. There's the power of the wisdom and power of the compassion. So Buddha is always with us. There's no place to go with the take nirvana and rest there for vacation. Actually, your Buddha nature is Buddha, which is dwell within you. So we should recognize that and purify our mental afflictions. And should see that enlightenment which is within us. So this is very beautiful, you see. The great beings, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, do not make their dwelling either in samsara or nirvana. Therefore, Buddha has discoursed upon a non-abiding nirvana. So in Tibetan, Korwa Nyange Dabala, Lanyichiti Minepa. just Sanje Namjine, Menenyang, dead shed. So beautiful. And next, now the compassion and wisdom, yes, wisdom of emptiness. Those who, to achieve their own and others' welfare, so their own welfare is attended Dhammakaya. And welfare for others is achieved the Sambhogakaya and the Nirmanakaya. So to achieve that, then drink compassion with it single taste of merit. Means the compassion, the taste of the compassion or practice of compassion which accumulates the merit. The taste of the compassion, it brings, means taste means practice. You taste food means you are eating food, means you are practicing compassion. That creates the merit. And devoutness with its supreme taste of wisdom. So the taste of the emptiness is a supreme. Yes, it is a supreme taste of wisdom. Through this, we achieve the benefit of oneself and others. These are Bodhisattva, offspring of the Buddha. So those who are practicing wisdom and compassion are the Bodhisattva. What they're saying here is he's saying the compassion is the compassion is the merit, and wisdom is the wisdom. Wisdom is the wisdom. So the compassion, which is for the other's benefit, that will manifest Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya. The wisdom of the emptiness, that accumulation will achieve oneself, the Dhammakaya. That's how benefit of oneself and others. Yes, no. So the Bodhisattvas who drink this wisdom and compassion, so practicing this will benefit. The two benefits is there. No? Okay. Now next is the benefit of the Bodhicitta practice. Okay. What's the benefit is there? This is so crucial, you see. I reverence them with all that I possess, worthy as they are of constant worship in the triple gem. First of all, say, I take refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. And I worship means I pay homage to Buddha Dhamma Sangha. With my whole body, speech, mind, saying, reverence with all that I possess means with my body, speech, mind, and fully without any kind of second thought. Then, see, these leaders of the world remain as heir and the devotees of the Buddha, means to sustain the Buddha's lineage is the Bodhicitta. In Tibetan way, kowe tun sop den to jiten tempa tatashus. These leaders of the world, Buddha, Bodhisattvas, remains in the world, they remain. They hear and the devotees of Buddha, so these are to sustain the Buddha's lineage. And their Buddha's Bodhisattvas, they remain in the samsara, they give teachings, as activities. So then more sentient beings would produce of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. That's how Buddha and Bodhisattva remains in the samsara. Then verse 105 said, Bodhicitta has been said to be the highest aspect of the Mahayana. Let us cultivate this bodhicitta, striving in the meditation. Chanchu simne tekchenpo choni yebar shebate nyabar shabe babaye chanchu simne yebar jis. You see, there are so many different teachings in the Mahayana. See, like say, there's all these different that are like say 3 trainings, and 6 parameters. There's so many teachings, 37 branches enlightenment, so forth. But the Bodhicitta is the single most important teaching. Bodhicitta has been said to be the highest aspect of Mahayana. That is the one that we should cherish all the time. So let us cultivate this bodhicitta with striving meditation, means in the equipoise state, meditate the bodhicitta, the both relative and absolute bodhicitta. Focus on this now. So Lord Jidasungwa says, Buddha is the embodiment of bodhicitta. Means perfection of the bodhicitta. Sanjine Changjo Semje Rangsu. Buddha is the formation of bodhicitta, the relative and absolute bodhicitta. And that's, I think, we need in this modern time. There are so many great scholars in the university, you see. The scientist scholar, the economist scholar, the politics scholar. There are so many scholars, business scholar, so many. But we don't have many scholars of the bodhicitta. So we need Dhamma practitioners. Focus on this. What means bodhicitta? What's for the welfare of the community? What is good for the whole world? Relation with the mind, not as a Buddhist, okay, but as the whole world, how everything functions within in the causality. And it's very clear now, very obvious. Everything functions within the causes and conditions, you see. And if you look at this, 10 virtues and 10 non-virtues, those can practice not only just Buddhist, anybody. The Christian can also practice those. The Muslim can practice those. The Hindus can practice those. Even who don't believe religion can practice those. So not taking life, not stealing, not telling a lie, not harsh words, not be divisive. This is not against with any religion. You need a skill to explain how we can keep harmony, use these 10 virtues. How to be honest each other for our own benefit, not just for only me, but for whole world. So the Buddha's teaching is, universal. Vajrayana, maybe we should say some can accept, some may not accept. But this basic, these teachings, loving kindness, compassion, and you can use Bodhicitta, which Buddhist terminologies. You can say universal mind, universal responsibility. Use those, because we all are interconnected. When some places like there is a war between Russia and Ukraine, now it affects everywhere. So you see like this. When in one country there's a disaster, it just goes to everywhere. So we need this kind of some special mind how to communicate, but not distorted. Sometimes we just becoming so manipulative and distorted, that's not good. But out of wisdom, out of compassion, and that causes the condition how it does. This is, I think, very important. Also, the estimation, the Vajrayana and visualizing Vajrayana and the deities and chanting mantras, those maybe not everybody can accept, but all the teachings itself. Vajrayana is also each symbol has a significance. If you're a practitioner, what symbolizes the lotus? Purity, pure mind. You sit on the pure mind. What symbolizes the sun disk? The clarity of the mind. You need meditating mind be very clear. What symbolizes the moon disk? The compassionate mind. So you sit yourself, your mind sit on the pure clarity and compassionate state of the mind you maintain there. So they symbolize this. The 5 crown, the 5-pointed crown, what they symbolize is 5 wisdom. Nobody can wear, nobody wears the 5 crown, in the market, If you wear this crown, people think you're a little strange, The 2 earrings, 2 truths, ultimate truth, relative truths. The 3, garlands, malas, one in the neck, one in the more in the breast, one in the lower to navel, symbolizes three kayas: the Dhammakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya. It's all this Vajrayana, those are is a exhibition of the qualities of the enlightened being, expression of the Dhammakaya's quality. That's where Sambhogakaya. Sambhogakaya is all these deities are Sambhogakaya. No. Because you don't see the Dhammakaya. Dhammakaya is something like emptiness, but it's not mere empty. All the excellent qualities are within the Dhammakaya. So to express the qualities of Dhammakaya, Sambhogakaya is manifested. So that you see the Bodhicitta to relation to this. I just said few things, No. Okay. Then you see, next is 106. Aside from Bodhicitta, there's no other means within the world with which to gain the benefit of others on oneself. No other method had the Buddha seen. You see now this, you see. Bodhicitta is the single most important cause to attain Buddhahood. So it's a cause, it's not a Buddhist belief. Sometimes may say Bodhicitta is for the Buddhist. No, it's for anybody who wants to attain Buddhahood. Bodhicitta is indispensable. Without Bodhicitta, no possible to attain enlightenment. So all the Buddha's teachings mentioned, the cause, conditions are described to free from suffering and to achieve the temporary peace and happiness and eventually to absolute Buddhahood. That's why Buddha's teaching is Mahayana for everybody. Okay. But for the time being, as mentioned here, individuals who have no capacity to capture all this for everybody, then first, like a baby, has to grow, but before it's grown up, have to grow step by step, like this. That's why Buddha was skillful. Skillful based on the wisdom and compassion. Then next, 107. By simply generating the awakened mind, so great a mass of merit is produced that if it were possessed of solid form, it would fill up the whole of space, and still there would be more. See, by cultivating Bodhicitta, aspiration Bodhicitta, action Bodhicitta, we don't see the merit, how much there. If in case it's supposed to have a form to see, it's bigger than the space. No? Sorry. No, I have nothing. So you see, Chanchu Simchi Samgin, Sonam Pungbu, Kantoba. No? Get this Sujin Yinani, Nangwa Kangwa Lenin Ha. So everybody can cultivate bodhicitta. It's not being something spiritual or non-spiritual. It's creating the cause to free from suffering. It's creating a cause to achieve enlightenment. Actually, as I mentioned, every sentient beings need to cultivate bodhicitta because they all desire to free from suffering. So keep these things in your mind, and then no matter what, you just cultivate bodhicitta. Okay, now we are completing, Kibu Kashi Kechikam, Chanchusim, Gongchik, they son of Pungbun, Dawai, Tamajo, you see. How precious is. And one who meditates on bodhicitta, even for a single instant, gains such quantity of merit, even Buddha cannot measure it. See? So you admire the bodhicitta. This is such a precious thought, such precious mind. And you just meditate one moment. I want to attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings, just in one instant. Because your desire to free from samsara, not just only for yourself, but may all sentient beings. That instant, the merit you have accumulated, even Buddha cannot measure it. Nāgārjuna has no reason to tell lie. There's nothing to gain for him. Okay. Nothing to exaggerate. But he's saying, he saw the benefit, the facts. And then for us, he gives us the instruction how to do it, or how should we should cultivate bodhicitta. Immeasurable. But to experience the benefit, we have to accumulate the cause, you see. Once you become Buddha, then you accumulated all the cause. And then you see infinite qualities. Otherwise, sometimes you wonder, say, I'm sure you have heard of chant or mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, then it says so much merit is that it includes the 6 parameters, practice, all this Buddha's heart of the Buddha's teaching is there, all these things. Now, I counted 1 million mantra, nothing happened. What, Because we have merit is there, but we have not accumulated the cause. So please keep that in the mind, This is a very important point. Otherwise, like a telling lie, Okay. Then, Nyomo Meper Rinpoche, then Norcho Chibute, Nyomo Duso, Chomgunki, This is another very important thing. This precious state of the mind without defilement. See, I want to attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. Just that mind, look at, has no defilement, no attachment, no anger, no pride, no jealousy, no ignorance there, okay? That mind is precious. It's the only supreme jewel. So this is the only the supreme jewel. We call jewel is so precious, very expensive. Diamond, now that they are diamond, the blue diamond, no, all those, it's very expensive. But the diamond of the Bodhicitta is a supreme diamond. Jewel, no? That begins the demon of defilement cannot harm or steal away, because Bodhicitta is the absolute method to purify all the obscurations of the mind. So practice this Bodhicitta. That's why I said now, I now during these sessions I was telling you now, before beginning and the end, let us meditate. May all sentient beings have all the peace and happiness. That's there. When you say all sentient beings, so that transcends all the limited mind, your attachment, anger, everything. And when you could do this, all mother sentient beings, when you say this, like you love your mother. And when you see all sentient beings as your mother, then that transcends all the attachment. You have all this peace in the mind. It eases your muscle physically and mental relaxes. Then when you say, may all mother sentient beings free from suffering, the people who hate you, who irritate you, and you wish those individuals as well to free from all the suffering. Your muscle of the heart relaxes and meditate. Then, what is the absolute state to achieve the peace and happiness? What is the absolute state free from suffering? It's the Buddhahood. When one achieves the Buddha, then has all the peace and happiness. And free from all the suffering. So I say, everyone may achieve Buddhahood, enlightenment. And just meditate there. So if you say Buddha, say like a Buddhist, it belongs to Buddhists, they say. Then you say enlightenment, awakened state, you can say, whatever you can. Fully awakened state, fully enlightened state. Like this, you can use those words. So this is the cause to free from all the suffering. And this is the cause to achieve the complete peace and happiness. As mentioned, it's not just some individuals, no, or sectarian things, convert into something, This is a way we're establishing anybody, everybody to free from suffering. When you die with this, at the time of death, stopping breath, may everybody have peace and happiness. May everybody free from suffering. And may everybody achieve enlightenment. Without other second thought, without other disturbing thoughts, with this continuation, if one individual dies, definitely the rebirth is better. It's the best power, highest power. That's what we can say, because in all these very important texts, teachings by great masters, I mentioned these things. So there are no need for complicated visualizations. When you are dying, how you can visualize complicated visualizations, unless they are advanced practitioners. For beginners, full of pain, fear, physically pain, mentally fear, confused, at that moment, just say these things. I have such great fear. I am suffering. May everybody free from this kind of suffering. I want peace and happiness. May everybody have peace and happiness. May everyone free, achieve enlightenment. So your whole life now get used to this practice. The advanced practitioner, the beginner practitioner, anybody can do this. And you'll get the benefit as mentioned here, Nāgārjuna. Wow. And cannot harm or steal, you see. So this mind of Bodhicitta, see, no defilement, no mental obscurations can harm, because as mentioned, Bodhicitta, the ultimate Bodhicitta, relative Bodhicitta, is the, we should say, this Bodhicitta is the absolute antidote of the obscuration of the mind. See, just as in samsara, the Buddha and the Bodhisattvas constantly make prayer for aspiration. Likewise, we should train our mind in bodhicitta, you see. As at the time quoted from Shantideva's text, as long as the space remains, as long as the some sentient beings remain, may I endure, remain with the sentient beings, benefit or free their suffering, help them to achieve enlightenment, Buddhahood. So all the Buddhas pray this, then practice this. All the Bodhisattvas pray this, practice this, and we should practice this way. And this was called Gongchik. Now, you understand? No? Okay. Oh. The total scope of the Buddha's teaching is for this. There are so many teachings you study, many books you read. At the end of the day, the nutshell is to free from suffering, and to achieve peace and happiness. No? For that, the Bodhicitta is the only single point method. So that shows how the mind is vast. To feed our very complex mind, no, need all those teachings. So these teachings you study, practice, then you say, I have a doubt, what should I do? You read that one, you then investigate, then you say another, there comes another, there's come another, all those teachings. No? But at the end, just one nature. That's called Gongchik, Eka Rasa. Okay. Rasa Eka Rasa. One taste, okay. Now it makes a better sense, Konchik. Okay. It's instead of just single intent. What that means, you know? So this is the supreme jewel, okay. Supreme weapon to destroy, to annihilate all this mental maras, okay, delusions. So here, the last what Nāgārjuna says, 111. This is wonderful indeed, to strive in what has been explained. Then you yourself will comprehend the action of the Samantabhadra, means Buddha's activities, especially Samantabhadra means infinite activities, endless activities. So that's how you endure in the samsara to benefit all sentient beings, because the Bodhicitta. Looks like our time is also, you know, that's wonderful. So I'm so pleased now. Now, if I read this here, rest of this, yesterday, other day I have read the beginning. No, now see here. If you have this book, page 38, I think something like that. This book, no. Although no, I made a mistake. I read this page 38, 28. Now here, if I read page 29, it's the first Vajra statement. It's most important point. What Gongchik is talking about here. Now you had translations. Now it is acceptable and can be improved, can make better. All things this can be improved. Okay. Having said that, like say, I did a lot of translations in the past. One instant, Great Geshe Master. Have you heard of that? Great Geshe Master. I think many of you should read. If you have not read, you should order all the books that I have translated and written. There are quite a number of books. The center should have the copy, no? Oh, yeah, not all up to Jigten Sungun. Okay. In that, like what I'm saying, in that book, I translated, maybe not, I should say, not totally accurate, but I did translations. So my motivation is, if I start some translations with some mistakes there, the later scholars can polish those translations, make it better. No? And I will appreciate that. If they say, oh, those who call, that time I was not called Khenchen, I was a Khenpo. Oh, Khenpo had translated, so they made a lot of mistakes, And I will very appreciate that. Instead of so with the arrogance, what do you mean, So like that, this can be polish the translation, improve the translation. Very important. That did at those times. So here, anyway, the natural state of the innate disposition is called Shisam Pap. She is possible. She. Innate disposition, that wrong. It's mentioned. Some they write basic disposition. Some they write the disposition is a layout disposition. How it lie. How it lie, the disposition. Lie? L-I-E. What's that mean? No, L-I-E. Yes, this lie means how it abides. How it abides. Yeah, how it rests in its natural state. Is uncontrived. Okay. Unfabricated nature. Okay. How everything functions as it is. How water flows, as it is. So how all the manifestations without imputation, without the artificial, all our mental afflictions are artificial, We make everything artificial, from food, clothes, because our mind is artificial. Then we put poisons in the food because our mind is poisoned, So here, in it, so I'm going to Tupa. It's interesting, So innate disposition is how it lies, how it abides. So you see, when your mind is calm, peaceful, without any thought, your mind is totally peace. That's the nature of your mind. Unpolluted mind. Just, sometimes you're tired, you sit on your chair, I'm so tired. Rest there. And you feel so relaxed, calm. That's your mind. It's your natural mind. There's no somewhere something special, Some recognizes, some don't recognize. But you are abiding in your natural state of the mind. So that's what's innate disposition. All abiding of all phenomena, they mentioned. Abiding of all phenomena, innate dispositions should be same meaning, okay? Was taught by Buddha and explained by Jigten Sumgun, okay? So this is this statement is called Vajra statement. So this statement is the root of all the rest of the statement. All are manifested from this root. All the rest, the 150 statements are explanation of this. So that's why I say now, our mind is just one mind, but how many thoughts are coming? Endless expressions of all your own mind. So it is said, the natural state of abiding of all phenomena without exception was taught by perfect Buddha. So all the Buddha's teachings are included in this Vajra statement. Okay. How everything's abide in their nature, both samsara and nirvana. Because he knows, meaning Buddha, everything and perceives everything. Buddha knows everything and perceives everything. The respective characteristics of the phenomena are known as they are. How they abide as they are. They unmistakably and are furthermore perceived in their entirety. So Buddha have perceived entire nature of the samsara and nirvana without mistake. Fresh, direct, not just partially. Buddha's wisdom is not just partial, complete entirety. Therefore, the Buddha knows the innate disposition of their own abiding, how individual abides, how all phenomena abide, or how they function, we should say, how they rest, you say, which is cause and effect, you see. Everything is, as I say, manifestation of the cause and effect. Yeah, effect means result, should say, the result. That is interdependent connections. So everything functions within the interdependent state. Okay. Now it's giving example here. Namakite. So for example, the heat and burning. When there's a heat, it burns. When there's fire, the fire is hot, is heating, and it burns. Heat and burning, for example, arise only from fire. Water will not burn you, okay, unless it's boiling water. Boiling water is boiled by the fire, Boiling water is not boiled by the ice. It is not the innate disposition or abiding of humanity, humid, and moistening. So fire is not a humid. Fire has no humidity, It's not moistening. This does not arise from the fire. That suffering is now here. This most important is this. Suffering does not arise from virtue. When you act virtuous deeds, loving kindness, compassion, Bodhicitta, from 10 virtues, you just engage on this, relax on this. So you don't worry, the suffering will come from them. Okay, there's no cause for the suffering. Yes. So this is what suffering does not arise from virtue. Happiness not from non-virtuous deeds. You kill, you slaughter hundreds of thousands of animals. You expect some peace and happiness. It's not possible. Okay. People do not their law, the farm, isn't it? This fish farm, chicken farm, to become rich, to have happiness. They're expecting happiness from this. Temporarily looks maybe you become rich, but it's source of your suffering. That's reality nature. It's not Buddhist belief. Sometimes may say Buddhists are so negative. The country cannot grow. There's no economic, But you make economic in such a wise, with compassion, like practice of generosity is the Buddhist business. When you read the Madhyamaka Avatara there, Buddha saw when in the people, when there's no wealth, no enough food, there's no happiness. To make happiness, so we need wealth. To make a wealth, practice generosity. So in Christian also they say, giving is what? Giving is receiving the karma. This is a practical thing. Which goes round, what call? Which goes round, comes round. Directly speaking about the causality. No? So just say, so if you want happiness, don't indulge in the drug, drug addicted. So the drug makes me happy, and then you are deluded. Okay, no happiness will come from there. Drinking alcohol makes me so happy, relaxed, Not happen. Also, deeds. The effect here now translated effect, result. The result arises from the cause. See, depending on the virtue, the fruit. Now this is right. The fruit will arise. Happiness will be achieved through the virtuous action. So this is what Buddha taught, and that is, as mentioned, Jigten Songkwan conveys. Okay. In the sutra requested by Kinara, King Duma. King Duma. Tibetan, this sutra is called the Minam Chi. Okay, yes. It is said in a way, oh, Bhagavat means Buddha. You who knows about the dependence on the cause. You never had the view of the two extreme. You read complete, no. But only taught the ripening of karmic fruit to you who is the free of darkness of the views I vow down. In Tibetan, it's, Gyaltsen, you wise Bhagavan, who depends on the cause, means who is wise in the cause. Everything manifests from the cause, basically saying. Nothing will manifest without cause. So you are so wise, you know the cause. Because of that, say, Buddha had practiced for 3 limitless kalpa, creating the cause to become Buddha. And that cause is non-duality. Nature is emptiness. Within emptiness, as we describe now so much, and all these causes. And so you are wise, you never had the view of the two extremes. No nihilists, no eternalists. That Buddha in the sutra, but only taught the ripening of the karmic fruit. So from that cause, you explain how the result, fruit, will manifest according to the cause. Very precisely, without any confusion. Everything is distinctive, clear. So therefore, to you, to Buddha, who is the free of the darkness, delusion, of the views, I bow down. I take refuge in the Buddha. This is why, Therefore, there is nothing else than cause and effect, cause and result. Everything functions within the cause and result. Okay. Effect is good. For some extent, I agree. Also, it's easy to talk about. But effect does not necessarily, does not necessarily direct communicate the result of the cause. If somebody push me, it affects me to fall down. There's an effect. When you drink something, there's an effect, but not necessarily exactly. Some effects is good, some effect is not good from one cause. But here result means exactly from that direct cause, without any mistake, will manifest the result. So you understand that, okay? Where I understood, I explained to you. If you agree or not agree, it's your choice. Okay? Although the Buddha displayed now in that case, there's no argument. Buddha displays so many miracle powers, What are those causes? Sometimes Buddha turns fire into water. In one instant, Buddha displays for 500 years time. But for whole eons, Buddha display in one instant. Are these innate disposition? Are this basic disposition? Are they the mode of abiding? Or they are artificial? So this is now argument is explained here. Although the Buddha display miracles that are discordant, not according that we talk about, no? That are incomprehensible. There are some are incomprehensible. There's in a like meaning turned into one. There are hundreds of thousands of turned into one. Have you heard of the Milarepa? One did, Rejungpa actually. He, as a, what they call, the wild, the wild horses. Milarepa's, of course, it's Milarepa's display. Rejungpa went to bring water in the mountain. And when he was going to bring water for make tea, the distance. So while he's collecting water in the mountain, he saw the hundred of wild horses. And then he looked at where this all come from. And they all turned into one horse. And then that disappeared. It's like this, Why this, This one doesn't look like innate disposition. Then he said, the fire pit that turns into a lotus pond. Have you heard of this story that? No? I thought you have studied so many. This story is, time flies, so okay. Time is just relative, The story goes this. There was who's against the Buddha. There was a very famous teacher, but he doesn't like Buddha. So one of his pattern, become devoted to Buddha. So then he saw jealous about that. Then he invited Buddha for lunch. All the monks, because he's so rich, So then said, first, I'm sure, not devoted, but to persecute Buddha. Said, tomorrow or other day, you should invite Buddha for lunch and his disciple. On the way, you make a fire pit, covered with the dust. Then Buddha will walk and fall down in the pit and will burn, will then perish. So his disciple, okay, I will do that. So then he went to Buddha. Next, any day, whatever, I want to invite you for lunch. I want to make offering, dana offering to you and all the monks. Buddha said, yes, I will come. Usually, Ananda goes first as an attendant. That day, Buddha told all his monks, nobody should go before me. I will go the first. So then he prepared the huge fire pits, burning, full of ash and covered with the dust above. And then he said, that teacher explained him the pattern. If that doesn't work, then you should put a poison in the food. No, then any one of these will work to get rid of Buddha. No? So then Buddha, they went there, proceeds, Buddha walked through. And then that fire pits, as mentioned here, turned into a lotus pond. So there's people there around, they're watching this, they saw this, they're watching, how Buddha does. And it's all so admired and making a loud noise. And then Buddha went through the house where this arranged. And this pattern was so afraid. Oh, Buddha, please excuse me, I made a mistake, please. Now I cannot offer you the food. There's a poison, I put poison in the food, Buddha said, don't worry. Even when I was a Bodhisattva, I finished the karma not to die from the poison. You just, whatever you prepare, you just give me. No, don't worry about it. So then he brought out the lunch for the monks, Buddha. And then first Buddha said, don't eat anybody before I bless. So Buddha made some prayers and meditated, and all transformed into ambrosia, nectar. No? So he is saying, why fire become water, lotus pond? Why the food become, this, it contradicts what you're talking about, So now he is saying here, we read this. It's beautiful, So, rotten news. Then you see the fire pot turn into a lotus pond, a rotten horse fodder that is very delicious for Buddha. This story also goes once, there's a Buddha, all Buddhist monks, they have summer retreat for 3 months. So one king, he was so devoted to Buddha, and he has also some Hindu teachers. But he wanted to sponsor one summer retreat, and he requested Buddha, this year I want to sponsor to you and your monks. Please accept. And Buddha said, of course, yes. And then, as a king, he told all the people, this summer, I am the sponsor for the retreat, summer retreat for the Buddha. Nobody interfere this, Then, tomorrow, next day, going to start the ceremony for the summer retreat. And that evening, the king had such a bad dream, such a bad dream, that whole his kingdom was kind of said, intestines, bloods, all this. And the king was so frightened, And then instead of asking Buddha, he asked his Hindu teacher. So I dreamed this, what should I do? And then the Hindu teacher said, no, it's a very significant dream. There's a great danger in your life. Right today, you must go to retreat for 3 months. And then the king said to all public, next for 3 months, nobody disturb me, So he went to retreat. Now, tomorrow, next day, Buddha is going to start the summer retreat. There's no food. And the king already declared, should not do anything because I'm the responsible. So now, for next 3 months, Buddha has no food. Monks has no food. So there, the housekeeper, he found the news, the king's housekeeper. So he has a lot of food for the horse, which are rotten. No? So then he came out, but it's a Buddha. I'm sorry, so much sorry to hear your news, now what I have is I have this much, the horse pottle, food. These are rotten. So if you accept, I will offer. Some Buddha said, yes, we should accept, And then Ananda was there. Buddha was eating this. And tears came Ananda's eyes. Buddha who practiced for 3 limitless eons of Dharma, even became Buddha. Now he has to eat this rotten food. I am so sad. But then, when he said that, Buddha said, don't worry. For me, all foods are ambrosia. No? There's one, which from Buddha's teeth, one seed. So you test this. So Ananda took it, and it's just so delicious. So that was called rotten food, So rotten horse filter, that is very delicious ambrosia transcendent, extra. These appeared in this way due to the interdependent relation of the situation and the dominant condition. That is the direct cause. So there's a way Buddha has practiced Dharma teaching, perfected all these things, can display all this. But he doesn't display, randomly. The Buddha doesn't show this for everybody. But that moment, when there's condition, when there's chance, when there's a benefit, so those individuals created enough virtue to experience that, to say this, So this happened not without cause, without conditions, okay? Relations, direct cause, and other conditions, like for example, the disciples, and because the innate disposition or basic disposition and the abiding of all phenomena in emptiness. So everything's within the emptiness. From emptiness manifests all these things. So when you have cause, when you have conditions, you can do this. Like, your anger, you say, look at your anger. You are so angry. It's negative, But if you follow with that, it's nothing but only cause of suffering. But as soon as you remember this anger, the expression of the anger in your mind, when you have wisdom, critical insight, you see anger is nowhere. And at that moment, you are enlightened. Oh, there's nothing to be angry. Anger is nowhere. As well as attachment. There's nothing to attach. The attachment itself is not exist anywhere. Realizing this principle, one will realize the natural state of all phenomena. So when you know this thing, then you know everything. All phenomena without exception. This is exactly the general outline and framework of this great sutra, the Shastra, this great book. There's all the rest explanation of this statement. Okay. Roughly we have done now this wonderful, isn't it? Yeah. I hope everybody enjoyed. And I'm sure everybody is enlightened. Now everybody is so happy. Now you are so happy, you are so happy, and there's happiness is nowhere, okay? You are happy where there's no happiness. You cannot find your happiness anywhere, okay? So don't attach to happiness. Excuse me?
You pulled it off. You finished the Gongchik.
Yes, this is Gongchik, as you see, outline. This is first, this very important point that I know, as I mentioned, now the Gongchik is teaching here, there, as I mentioned, I extremely appreciate, rejoice. But you have to understand really why Gongchik is so special. Okay. Otherwise, if you don't know those things, it's just regular text, nothing special. You have heard of interdependent, you have heard of emptiness, you have heard of cause and condition, you have heard of suffering of samsara, nothing special. You have heard of Buddhahood, Dharma, Sangha. Why Gongchik is so special? But this what I spoke makes the Gongchik special. And why Jigten Sungpa taught this? Why he gathered 180,000 disciples? Why not other teachers? No. See. So we should appreciate, we should rejoice, really. I'm so fortunate. Even after 800 years, still we're studying his teachings, and reflecting on this. And there are not many people talking about Jigten Sungpa. Only few. There are many who says, I'm from the Gongchik monastery. I follow the Gongchik. I'm this. But very few really talking about him and talking about his teachings. When you teach, they teach something different texts. Last few years, I've been also reading his, there's 6, right now we have actually 12 volumes of his teaching. It's a collection that he taught to his disciples. And many are collection from his teachings. So at that time, I really impressed. He gave talk for thousands of monks, and there's some great disciples made a footnote, and those footnotes are collected, so put together in the collection of his teachings there. So impressive, so powerful. Usually, for example, now just that, as I mentioned the other day, usually we say ignorance is one, and we just think attachment is different, anger is different. And Jigten Sungpa says, this all 3 are ignorance. And I thought about that, That's really right. Without ignorance, you will not attach to anything. Without ignorance, you will not have anger. So the attachment and anger is manifestation of the ignorance. So these are within the ignorance. I was really so impressed. So like that, there's something very precise, the teachings there. As I mentioned before, not here. So anyway, I hope this last few days, you have got some information, some clarification, I should say, more clarifications, and there are more to clarify because my wisdom is very limited. You have to expand from your wisdom and make a limitless, profound, vast, whatever you can, okay? And then we just take care of the samsara. Let samsara live alone. The samsara will suffer. So you are doing so much. I'm suffering samsara, you know. So cultivate bodhicitta practice and wisdom. Okay, now please take a deep breath. Inhale fully and exhale. Release all the stress. And then as we should do this way, may all mother sentient beings have happiness and peace. May all sentient beings free from suffering. And may they achieve Buddhahood or enlightenment swiftly. And relax the mind there. Then with this mind, then we say the dedication prayers. Okay.
First we do the dedication. Glorious, holy,
Venerable, precious, kind, rooted lineage Lama, divine assemblies of Yidam and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Yogins, Yoginis, and Dagini, dwelling in the 10 direction, please hear my prayer. May the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself and all sentient beings in samsara and nirvana, and the innate root of virtue, not result in 8 worldly concern. The 4 causes of samsara, of rebirth as a Sharvaka and Patigya Buddha. May all mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me in mind, obstructors who harm, misleading maras, and the hordes of demons, experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and to be attained unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood.
By the power of this
virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind.
May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, jealousy not
rise in my mind.
May attachment to fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise even a moment.
May my stream be moistened by loving kindness and compassion and bodhicitta. And through that, may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arise even at the time of my death. May I not die with the negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the grace of luminosity, mind as such, and the pervading clarity of Dharma. May I in any case gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo.
Then long life prayer for Khenchen.
Okay, thank you.
Shuman Tube Noraji Bajoje Sandai Gombe Rare Nyajido Yade Sudre Nuboy Jeje Khenchen Konchog Gyaltsen Shaden So. You who are richly endowed the glorious wealth of Dhamma knowledge, who through reflecting and meditating have actual and shine with 100,000 light rays of ethical discipline of Buddha Dharma. May you Khenchen Ratna Daza live long. Thank you.
Khenchen Rinpoche La, on behalf of Drikung Dhamma Surya and also all the Sangha worldwide, I would like to express our most sincere gratitude for your love and compassion, and especially for the precious teaching that you have bestowed to all of us in the past 4 days. It's about the Gongchik teaching of Lord Jiten Samgön in conjunction with Nāgārjuna Bodhicitta. Actually, we've been very blessed to receive the teaching twice, because from the same master. Lord Jiten Samgön is a reincarnation of Nāgārjuna, and Gongchik is Bodhicitta. So we're very blessed, we're very fortunate to that. And also I'd like to share with you, when Drikung Dhamma Surya was established in 2011, and Gyaltsen was there in our place to share with us his aspiration, the mission of goal at Drikung Dhamma Surya. And Khenchen also was there with us, you know. And Drikung Dhamma Surya in Sanskrit, that is Chukinima, in English, that is Son of Dhamma. So the true Son of Dhamma was there with Drikung Dhamma Surya Center. There's a deeply connection and love there. And you know, Khenchen Rinpoche, he has spent in the past 40 years when he came to the US, to the West, he has bring all the Buddha Dhamma in Tibetan language to English. So everyone in the world can benefit to that. So Khenchen Rinpoche, we wish you have a very, very good health and long life for the benefit of all sentient beings. It's from the bottom of our heart. And we also supplicate to you that you will come to DDSC every day. No, every year. I'm sorry, every year. Not every year to, let's say, to bring the Son of Dhamma to shine in all directions. Okay, for as long as sentient beings remain, to dispel the misery of the world and dispel the darkness of ignorance for as long as space endure. So we really supplicate you now to come to every year to DDC. And last but not least, we have been having a successful event in the past 4 days. And thank you for many the Dhamma Center around the world has helped organize and also get all the Sangha to come to the center and teaching, especially for the Vietnamese Bodhicitta for all the sisters and brothers, they have helped to organize and running along with fun on the Zoom platform, and many others that I cannot recall. And last but not least will be all the brothers and sisters from around the world. I know many from different countries in Europe, in North America, South America, Australia, and Asia. Now, despite of a different time zone, some of them even, stay like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning to attend the teaching. So we rejoice very much of that. And so thank you for all for your generosity and also the support, and especially for all the kitchen dakinis in the DDSC have helped to take care of all the food and the meal in the past week here. And thank you, Lamala. Yeah. And Amanda. Okay, and Amanda is our BDA website, have been tirelessly working, upload all the information and transform information and provide all information to everyone. Because literally, even though we are here physically at the temple, but our minds are connected many hundreds of disciples in the past 4 days worldwide. Different time zones, so there's a lot of activity, logistics, communication has been taken care over Zoom. So that's That's all I have. Thank you very much, and I appreciate that. Rinpoche La, and everyone, if you have an opportunity here, you can make the kata offering to Rinpoche. Thank you. Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum. 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 Mani Padme Hum.
Hum